And we are live. And we are live.
So I guess you posted it in, right?
Yep.
Okay.
5 people now. Welcome everyone. I guess we can wait a
Let me just hear
bit
the
more.
sound. Give me a second. So I guess you posted it in, right?
Yep.
Okay.
5 people now. Welcome.
Okay, so sound is pretty good. Okay, I guess we can get started then, right?
Yep.
Okay, guys, welcome to yet another bi-weekly webinar. Sorry, weekly. So the last one we had it on 24th of, where was that? 24th of, around here. Let me just see. Let me put a vertical line around here. So if you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to post them in YouTube chat and we will try to answer them to best of your abilities, right? I take it this weekend I actually posted an update on BTC, right, saying that this is what it is after we lost this area. That this was bearish, right, and that we are going to short this. I did expect that we will first go to like 5-6 or something, right? I mean, we are not gonna hold this the first time, but we did, right? But due to this being 100% retrace, right, from the origin of the move up, I'm going to still go for the short here, right? I'm not exemplary really, and short. We already shorted this. Yeah, we already shorted this, and now we're just waiting for the breakdown here, right? Before the breakdown happens, I'm still expecting, because of this recent price action, right? So high time frames, as we already established, are bearish, and this is still holding a bullish area. So I'm gonna still think that maybe it can do something like this, and then just crashes down, right? So there's gonna be another opportunity probably to short around this this cubicle right here, if anybody wants to jump on it, right? The thing with this short is it's very high probability speaking, because it is part of the pattern that's been going on Bitcoin since many times, right? I mean, it's been doing this, right, all the time. So yeah, it's basically this thing right here, and it's replaying itself, right? We sort of lost the bullishness on higher time frames, made 100% retrace, and now we can go down, right? So essentially speaking, if we break down from here, so on higher time frames, right? If we break it down from here, because there should be no bearish, we rejected it once up here. We went down, we rejected it once again, and returned right where we started off. So that's not bullish at all, right? So if we do break down here, our target is either gonna be around here, or it's either going to be around here, right? It's gonna be a box. So yeah, we would be returning to a 3K origin down here, which is something that we expect for some time now. I mean, it's not the first time news. Been telling it for weeks that eventually we will end back down here, right? I mean, or perhaps even lower, right? This could be the end target for us. This could be the end target for us. That would be perfect if we can hit down here. Start doing a little accumulation, right? And then suddenly going to start backing off, and maybe in the future breaking 14K and 20K, right? That would be kind of the perfect scenario for the bull market to start. And I've shown it in the past a lot of times that this is exactly what happened down here back in 2014 already, and it's quite similar stuff. I mean, markets do move in similarities, right? They do have similarities. So the US markets are still going down, right? I mean, judging by oil and everything. Yeah, oil says 21. Wait, I'm not sure what DJI is today. Let's see how DJI is doing. Oh god, internet is a little bit slow. Why? Because, you know, quarantine and everybody has been using internet. It's actually quite slow. Shit. Come on. Let me see, DJI. Okay, so DJI is doing a little bit better. If I'm not mistaken, this is gonna lead to a dead cat bounce. Yeah. We lost sort of a bullishness here as well, but let's see how much we recovered. I'm not sure. 23%, but I'm like, as soon as Americans will start dying big time, as what I'm suspecting is gonna happen, it's just gonna have the same effect, right? It's gonna go down, and so I'm expecting for Bitcoin as well, right? I mean, if it's lost bullishness, it makes sense for us to go down now, right? So yeah, that's sort of basically speaking higher time frame and lower time frames, right? I mean, we did the same in the past, like I said. I think I've showed this plenty of times now. Sort of the same price action as we have today, right? If this is 20K, this is 40K, then this is like 6K, right? And this is 3K, and then we go back to like 8K, and then we go even lower to like 1.8K this right now. So basically it's pretty much the same stuff, right? And then from that point onwards we accumulated, as you can see, right? And then started finally pumping until we reach a new high. And this can happen again, you know. There's no reason for people to say that even if Bitcoin goes to down here, that Bitcoin is officially dead, that it's never gonna recover, right? Shakib is asking, what time frame are we talking about, Arnaud? I mean, the move towards the 32K is it before the halving or after, or no idea? Like, the thing is, like, I can't predict you the timeline, okay? I can't predict the timeline. But let's just say confirmation is gonna be somewhat this week, right? Because it's either this, it's like this, right? It's really simple right now, right? If you break above this, you're back to being bullish, right? So, sorry, this has to be alone. Sorry, let me just have to straighten. Yeah, if you break above this, you're bullish, back to bullish, right? If you don't break above this and you reject this again, so I'm saying if you reject this again, right? From this right now, and you go under this, and you go under this, so basically if you do something like this, right? Then you're bearish, right? But if you do this, you're bullish, right? So it's pretty simple. You don't really need a time frame for this to happen, right? I mean, you can see it right away. If it's gonna reject here, then you have high possibilities of coming down here, right? So yeah, if it's gonna do something like this now again, what it did up here, So what we did up here, right? We came up here, we rejected it, we came down, right? That was a bullish bounce. That was a bullish bounce, right? But then we came to the same area again and rejected it twice, and then went down again. From the same move where we already started, right? This is not bullish anymore. So this is why we are now guessing that it's gonna do this, this, right? That's how it usually works out, right? But if we do by some miracle, and I'm gonna say this is like 30% chances of this happening, do this and this, we're back on being bullish, right? Which we can be right now. This is like a must short spot right now, I mean, because the downside, it's only, you're only risking like losing of $300 in this case, right? But you win of gaining like 1,500, something like that, right? Even more if it goes down to 3k. So yeah, I mean, the risk to reward ratio is much better on upside than it is on downside, right? Sorry, on downside than it is on upside, right? So that's why it makes sense for you to go for this, right? It's really simple right now. It doesn't get more simple than this, right? It's pretty straightforward. And we will see what happens, right? This one this is still a bullish area, so as long as we hold this, we're okay. But like I said, if you go under this and you have like 2 4-hour candles or two daily candles under here, well, then you're turning bearish and you gotta have to be looking to sell something, right? Judging by the climate of the economy around the world, I would say we are more bearish, but I might be wrong on that. Well, we are more bearish, let's be honest. I mean, there's corona out there and businesses are going under, and you know, economy is in deep shit, right? I mean, we're definitely in crisis right now, right? So yeah, from the market standpoint, we are bearish as well, but we are also bearish right now from the TA perspective, right? I mean, it's the same stuff, right? I mean, it's not that big of difference right now. So FA and TA would be more bearish right now than bullish, right? For the very obvious reasons. Let's see, Ethereum, right? Ethereum. Oh yeah, before we go on, if you guys got any questions, like Shakib here, you know, don't feel free to ask them. We will try to answer it to best of our ability. So yeah, Ethereum did even the same thing, right? So Ethereum did even shittier than the Bitcoin, right? Because Ethereum, the first time it went up here, the second time it didn't even come close. It just, you know, it just rejected this as well and went down and made 100% retrace and doing exactly the same thing, rejecting this point as we just speak, right? So this is like a sort of a break it or make it point. So again, it's pretty much the same thing with Ethereum, right? You can short it because if it goes above here, you're bullish, right? But you're not as bullish as you are on Bitcoin, because in Bitcoin there's nothing more to the left side, right? You don't have this. If you go above this, you're on the new top, right? Well, Ethereum, if you go above this, you still have to break this, you still have to break this, right? So you have even more resistances on Ethereum. So this is why I think Ethereum is still falling behind, right? And Ethereum is essentially looking even shittier than Bitcoin, because Ethereum will eventually end up like on like 50-60 bucks, right? It's gonna end up on the new lows quite substantially, and Ethereum will have a lot worse chance of getting back up here than Bitcoin ever does. I mean, you know, if it goes down here, it's gonna be really tough getting back up here. You know, it looks worse than Bitcoin as well, right? But you know, maybe if Bitcoin ever comes to 50 Gs, Ethereum can return itself to 1.4k, which is then makes no point, because you would rather hold BTC, right? I mean. Okay, so what more do we have? So yeah, the alts contracts changed on BitMEX, and I haven't even updated those because, you know, I'm currently not trading alts in those times because they're just too illiquid for me, and my gosh, the internet lag is killing me. But if you guys got any Binance alts and everything, I'm happy to do those, no problem, you know. Been trading those a lot in past, but you know, right now when they're so illiquid, it's really hard to trade them a little. We do have a Litecoin trade. Wait, actually I do remember we have a Litecoin trade on. Yep, we have a Litecoin trade. Oops, 4 hour. Like you can see, look at them when we go in 50 minutes. Look how the charts look like, right? I mean, this is your pinnacle. Why there's no volume? That's the biggest issue with this. So back to 4 hours. So yeah, took the Litecoin trade here with the stop under here. The only issue is this is a nice trade, right? I mean, this is a trade I would take on Bitcoin as well, because this is when you go towards new low and you like close right back above this structure and you start mooning a little bit. This is a good way to kind of break out, but The issue of this trade is right now, I mean, when you trade alts, and this is where the problem comes, if Bitcoin is going wild, the alt will just ignore you and just goes through down, right? I mean, it's just completely ignoring the level right here and just going down, right? So I can only hope that it's gonna do something like this or something like this, right? But this won't stop me, right? So this is the big problem of alts, and this is basically what I'm seeing all around, right? Even this alts, right? I mean, I was watching this. Look at this, right? I mean, it's just you know, these reactions are pitiful, right? It's just going lower and lower, and you can't stop it. There's nothing to the left side, right? I mean, look at this, how low this is going, right? And this is basically every Binance chart, right? And volume just keeps on dying. You see this? Volume just keeps on dying, right? I mean, there's nothing much you can do with the alts lately. It's just so sad, right? Wait, Bitcoin pumped a little bit and rejected. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, right? So Bitcoin already pumped and it's rejecting again, right? I was hoping that it maybe could pump to like up here and then reject, but I guess it's already rejecting, right? So we'll see what happens. It definitely not showing us any strength, right? I mean, look at it drop, right? So now if it goes under here already, it's probably gonna be, oh yeah, look at it, here it goes. It's already gonna be a problem, right? Of course, you have to have a higher time frame of finishing under it, right? Because this is only 15 minutes, not that accurate. But going under here already is already depleting its chance of doing anything more, right? But like I said, it has to go under here, and the candle has to close under here, right? Then it has to be a little bit higher time frame, and then we can safely say that it's having issues to struggle. Until it holds this area right now, I mean, in this current low time frame structure, it's okay, right? But once it goes under, it's should be done, right? Should be done. It should go here, and then eventually shouldn't hold here and go down further, right? That should kind of be the plan for this one. Okay, let's just see. Oh, so we had this one, huh?
Could you check the chart on the
Could check the chart on 0x and BAT. Okay, let's start with BAT. BAT was pretty good. I traded BAT a lot. Oh yeah, I actually traded BAT a lot, if I remember, back in the day when I was wait, let me see. Let me first see it on weekly. I had some lines on it. I see. Yeah. So I tested this rejection, this. Okay, so I'm seeing that right now. Let's just clear all these lines. These are old ones, anyways. Yeah, same thing. You know, you're gonna see. You're gonna test this eventually. Yep. You're gonna test this eventually. And that's gonna be your turn. So you can take a trade here. Definitely, you can definitely take a trade here. It's a good trade. I can post it up. But we'll see, it probably won't last you, right? So it's not gonna be one of these trades where you would say this right now. It's gonna be one of those trades where it's gonna be like to here in best case, or maybe even here, right? So you gotta get a couple of percentage out of it, and that would be pretty much it, right? You can't expect it to take you to the new top, right? Because, you know, it did create a nice accumulation, but again, it's making 100% retrace, right? So it's not gonna, probably not gonna do like this. This will not happen, right? But what it can do is do something like this, bounce a little bit, right? Then go even lower, then start creating this kind of V, right? Where you long it like here, right? And then it slowly starts to go up, right? That would be ideal scenario for you to indulge in, right? But doing something like this, what it's doing right now, and this, right? This is very, very unlikely, right? There will have to be some really strong news for you to that happen, and this is probably not gonna be the case, right? Definitely not something I would count down that it's gonna happen, right? So yeah, it's still bearish chart. If you wanna trade it, this is your entry right here. If you're still holding, you haven't sold it, you know, that's quite happy to say right now. But you still got like 20% to down here, right? I mean, it's definitely not looking bullish. Like, let me tell you, it's definitely not looking bullish at all, right? For it to be bullish, okay, let me just give you this scenario. For it to be bullish, it would have to hold this area, right? Did you hold the area? Nope. Right, you didn't hold this area, so what you would have to do, you would have to do this, right? I mean, something like this, right? But what you did was this, you made 100% retrace, you bounced a little bit, and then you went under, right? So, I mean, same shit as Bitcoin we're talking about right now, right? Then you tried again here, you didn't even come to the top, right? You rejected the third time the top, and then you just lost the support all together, right? It's pretty much the same crap as we're saying right now with Bitcoin, right? I don't know if you missed the news on the partnership with Binance. Well, there's nothing that I mean, I don't know what partnership with Binance is, but this
Yes.
does not tell me no partnership with Binance. I mean, this is obviously nothing's happening, man. I mean, look at it. Look at the volume, man. Look at the volume. It's just dying, and it's going lower as expected, right? I mean, you can't expect it's gonna have like even partnership with Binance, but even its partnership with Binance, that's what I'm gonna tell you. Like they're already listed on Binance, right? Who gives a damn about the partnership with them as well? I don't know what that could be even beneficial or anything, right? ZRX BTC. Who had a trade on this one? But this one played out nicely. Oh man, did we forgot to call this one? Did we did this one on last stream and we didn't call it out or what? But this one played out perfectly, Arnaud. Yep, this one played out perfectly. Can remove it now. Oops. Well, perhaps you already asked me this in the past and I gave you this trade because I have no idea why else would I have it like this, right? So probably you asked me about it in the past in the previous stream. So now right now it got filled right here and you got your TP and now it's going lower, right? I mean, that exactly as we expected it. So it's not going to hold this, which right now it's already looking bad because look, it's doing 100% retrace, but it didn't do it yet. So let's see it on 1 hour. Yeah, I don't really like this. We should be like you should be holding this already to be, but we're already losing it. So again, it's probably gonna come to like up here or something, right? And it's gonna reject and go lower, as every alt right now imaginable. And then I'm not seeing any other place of interest. This was like our last place of interest that we wanted to pump from, and we did. And we did it already here, and we replayed it here, and we got a strong reaction, here we got a weak reaction, right? So which is expected because we already the first time we already drained the liquidity here, yeah. We already drained the liquidity here. This is why the bounce is so much smaller the second time than it was the first time, right? So judging by this right now, I'm not seeing any other points than going down here, right? This would be. This is actually quite interesting. I'm not seeing. So I'm gonna tell you two possible things. So let's see first how much is down. Okay, so 30%, about 30%. Okay, it definitely can go down still 30%, right? Definitely can go down. That's totally possible because it is alts, right? If you enter it down here, that's possible, right? The second thing I would do, like, you obviously can't enter trade. This is a vast area, right? We can't enter trade here. We can't pinpoint the entry here. So what you gotta do, you gotta wait for a reversal, right? So you go on the lower time frame and you just wait for it that it goes down and does the same kind of stuff that I was telling you before, right? On the bot, right? Does something like this and then you long it here before it moves, right? So yeah, it has to do sort of a V play, that's how I call it, right? Sort of like this, and for you you have to wait it, and then you can capture it in like 50 or 30 minutes or 1 hour time frame, so lower time frames basically. And then you try to capture it by doing this, and this is gonna have you, by doing that you're gonna have a lot tighter stop loss, because you don't want to set up a buy here. You don't want to do this and place your stop loss down here, right? You don't want to do that. This is too vast of an area. Plus your stop loss is gonna be huge, and you're gonna be risking way too much money, right? So right now I would not be touching this. If it goes under here, I'm not touching this coin unless it does something like this, like I just showed you, right? Or unless it comes down here, then I would try another trade here. I mean, this is a pretty good entry, and it's probably gonna give you reaction, right? I'm not gonna tell you that it's gonna go up here, but I'm gonna tell you that it can do this, right? It can go do this before it goes lower. So yes, it can do this. So that would be around. That would be kind of a good gains, right? I mean, we're looking at like 5R or no 3.5R. That's pretty good, man. Like I can't be blaming that. Shakib, yes, I hope on this trade. So I'm curious on the future path it is. So the next stop would be the retest of 1,500. Wait, are we talking about bad 1,500 level, or are we talking about ZRX? Oh yeah, the stop is down here. Yeah, the stop would be down here under this. Yeah, you can leave a little place under it, and this is your trade, right? But like, make the trade break even as soon as possible, because like I said, you're trading against the trend. The trend is pretty obvious that it's downwards, right? The trend is going, it's pretty obvious the trend is down, right? I mean, you lost this even, right? And you stayed more than a couple of weeks under this, right? So yes, your trend is down, right? I mean, the thing is, if this was a normal, oh yeah, okay, if this was a normal coin, you would retest this, right? You would retest this, oh wait, sorry, you did retest this, sorry. Or you would retest up here, right? And this we just left a huge gap, right? Because we have no volume to pump, right? Most of this volume is fake, that's the problem, right? And there's not real buys in it, right? So that's really heavy for you to assess where the coin is going to go, right? But let's just do 0x again, sorry. So I said, yes, my stop would be, my stop in this case would be, because this trade already played out, right? And it's not looking even hot, right? My stop would then be for this trade would be under this, right? So I would take this low of the trade, you can make it a little like this, so you're not gonna miss it, right? You just stretch it out a little bit from like 16 to 15 and your stop is right under here. Which is still pretty good stuff, right? I mean, and then like I said, if it's gonna hit, I think it's pretty gonna go around to up here. Like this would be probably the spot when it's gonna hit the profit target, at least to like up here, right? In best case scenario, it's gonna hit it to up here, right? But it's very rare scenarios you will do a first breakdown, you do something like this, right? This is a very rare scenario. This most likely won't happen, right? But what it can happen, right, is you do this, right? You heal the first profit target, you retrace a little bit around here area, right? And then you go to here, you take this profit target, then you retrace back to this area, right? Or at least this high. You retrace back to this high that you made before. And you start breaking this farm, right? And then you start doing something, and then after you gain this area, you become more bullish, right? And then you can basically from this you can maybe expect a little bit bigger pull back to around this again, right? Before it goes higher. So that would pretty much my bullish scenario would look like, right? But of course you can anticipate it because the overall market is still bearish. So you know, I rather trade against, with the trend than against the trend. And there's also one more thing. Like, look at this. This good level is so good down here. So it's probably not. But again, same thing, right? I mean, look at the first bounce, gave us such a big reaction, right? Look at now the second bounce only gave us a small reaction, right? So now the third bounce is gonna give us something like this, right? And it's gonna go under. That's how you expect it, right? I mean, you see it, like you can see it with your own eyes that this is like what happens on alts, right? I mean, it's the same shit. The same shit throughout the whole Binance. Oops, sorry. I kind of like, let's just see, like Mana should be an old chart, right? Okay, it's not that old, but same shit, right? I mean, it came. Oh wait, it didn't came down, but it came close, and look, a small reaction you got, right? Wait, MCO, maybe MCO is like a little bit bigger chart, right? Okay, so let's see, right? I mean, so look, you came down, you got a reaction, right? You came down the second time, you got a little lower reaction, right? You came down the third time, you only got the small reaction, and then you went down the right. I mean, it's the same shit, right? Oops. Depends on the news and everything as well, because these do tend to weak out a little bit, right? This one didn't even give you a proper reaction when it comes to the new low, right? It just mooned through it, right through it, right? This one as well. So yeah, it's most of these things are looking quite similar because people gave up on them, you know. People gave up on these things because if you look at a coin market cap, right? Let's just see how much. Okay, so market cap right now is only one. Is like this is a trick, right? This is a trick right here. Ah, Jesus, I've screwed up already. This is the trick right here. Look at this, our market cap, right? So right now we are sitting at 181 billion dollar market cap, right? Right up here we were sitting at almost a trillion. Sorry, 800 billion market cap line, right? Now look at the volume here. See? And look at the volume here, right? So our volume is about, what is that, like 4 times bigger, and our market cap is like 4 times smaller, right? That makes no sense, right? So our volume is 4 times bigger, but our market cap is 4 times smaller. That makes 0 sense whatsoever, right? You know, so obviously the markets are being manipulated, and this is, you see, this is the area. I don't know how long you are being crypto, right? But this is the area where most of the exchanges were just dying, right? And then they started introducing market makers, and this is where Binance introduced most of their market makers and as well, right? And you can just see this volume going on, but this is all fake. This volume is all fake. guys, you click on Bitcoin, you scroll down and you check which, wait, sorry, wait, how do you go to that? Wait, how do you check? Did they change it? Okay, let's just do exchanges, sorry. So you go this, okay, Bitforex, right? Volume. Look at this volume, man. Like, this is fake. Like, what the fuck is Bitforex? Bilexy. You telling me Bilexy, that small exchange, Bilexy has $2.6 billion? Like, what is this? You telling me this shit has some more volume than Binance? This is what it is, right? And Hotbit, we all know Hotbit is a scam exchange. Fulguri, never heard of that. Coinsbit, never heard of that. BigX, I heard of it. MXC, but look, this is all fake. L-Bank, I know this one is a shit exchange. Fat BTC, right? Look, Binance is on 20th place, right? I mean, what the fuck is this, right? I mean, what is Tok? So you see, a lot of these exchanges are faking volume, which we haven't had back in the day, right? It's just fake volume all around. All around, right? We had a little bounce here. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to alts, man. I can do it some for you, but like I said, you know, it's like let's see what BTC did. Okay, so BTC held the area for now, right? Held the area on lower time frames for now. So now and you see, after it held the area, it pumps, right? This is the same bullish area still, but you know, it's struggling. It's struggling already, and you can see this is a struggle, right? They are dumping it big time. If I'm not mistaken, people got liquidated here as well, right? But we'll see what happens, right? We cannot save this from a 15-minute time frame. We can only watch it from high time frames, and high time frames we said it's bearish, but now we will see if it's really bearish or if it's not, right? I mean, we gotta wait. Only time will tell, right? So guys, you got any more questions? Otherwise, we can slowly start ending this stream. I mean, we have covered alts and Bitcoin and Ethereum. Most of these alts, and like you guys are seeing that volume on alts is pretty much dead as it is. I mean, volume on regular markets is not as dead, right? I mean, volume on regular markets is looking fine. Like gold is okay. Oil, look at the oil, right? I mean, look at oil. Like I'm telling you, the end target for oil, like the end target for oil is gonna be around here. Like the way it acts is gonna be around here, right? I'm talking like, whoa, so I'm talking like 14 bucks, 13 bucks, maybe 17 bucks if you're lucky, right around here. And look at how oil dip, right? Shit. So we can see the crisis is sort of in effect, right? Gold is doing okay, I guess. But all gold is usually always doing well in crisis, even here, you know, in 2008 it just dipped and then immediately rebounded. So it's always, but you can see, you know, we have a little bit more volatility even on Euro USD. Look at this volatility, right, in the past few weeks. It's what volatility tends to go up in the regular markets, but not crypto, you know. Crypto usually loses volatility because people don't want to be trading magical internet money, right, in the times when you don't know if you're gonna have enough money for food or anything, right? So yeah, guys, if this is all the questions we have right now, we will slowly be ending the stream. And we will be seeing you guys in the next week, right? At around 5 AM, as same as always. Sorry, not 5 AM, 5 PM.
4 p.m. UTC, guys.
Oh, UTC, yeah, sorry. 4 PM UTC, which is like 5 PM Central European time. Yeah,
right.
Yep. Yeah, had a really good stream, guys. I hope you guys some outlook on BTC and where to look at, which areas, so you can protect your money, right? As this time. As well, if you have your money invested in SmartBot, then you should be fine, because SmartBot usually does pulls the right moves and protects your money USD device anyways, right? So yeah, that's what you all, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.